Hey beauties, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. It's Winnie here again in another video, and in today's video we are going to be learning how to make the straight palazzo pant. You can use crepe or Ankara fabric or any of fabric of your choice to make this. I have made this a step-by-step sewing videos. If this is what you like to learn, keep on watching, and without too much talking, let's get straight to it.
I love you. Hey beauty, welcome to my channel.
I am using an Ankara fabric for this. It's about 2.5 yards. So what you are going to do is that you are going to fold it into two, like so, like I'm doing with the largest circumference of your down part, which is the hip. So the hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. That is what I'm using to fold it, just for it to be enough. And after that, I went ahead to measure out the length. The length is 40 inches, but because it's an high waist trouser, I'm going to be adding 2 inches to that to make it the high waist, and I'll add another 2 inches for hemming and sewing allowance, so making 44 inches. So I'm going to mark out 44 inches now, and that is what I'm marking for the full length of my trouser. So that is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to be using this point now for the waistline and crotch measurement so that we can see it clearly. So now we are not going to be measuring the waist because we are adding elastic to this, so we are still going to be using our hip measurement divided by 4 on the waist. This is the front panel. You don't need to add any allowance to it, so just mark out your hip measurement divided by 4. And for your crotch, you are also going to use your hip measurement divided by 4 for your crotch length. I'm just trying to mark out the hip divided by 4 all the way down, and then I'm going to be marking out my crotch measurement. So the crotch measurement is your hip divided by 4. Whatever you have is what you measure, but I'm removing 2 inches upwards, as you can see, because it's going to have a band. I want to of 2 inches, so that band is what we are taking out. And then I've marked out my crotch measurement. That's my hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. All right, so when I wanted to measure the thigh circumference, I noticed that the fabric was not going to be enough, so I had to shift it forward a bit. And then now I'm going to be taking out my measurement again. So I'm marking out my hip divided by 4, and then I took 2 inches outside. Then I marked my hip divided by 4 again plus 2 inches for my crotch length measurement. So I'm just trying to measure what I have for my hip divided by 4. I'm just adding a bit of ½ inch to that so that it can be more easy to work with. Then my crotch depth, after taking the 2 inches upward, I marked out my hip divided by 4 for the crotch depth plus 2 inches. The 2 inches is because it's an high waist. Then on that crotch, I'm marking out my thigh measurement divided by 2. The thigh of this person is 30 inches, so I'm dividing that by 2, which is 15 inches. So I marked out 15 inches at that point, and it's the same 15 inches I'm going to take all the way down, because this is a palazzo trouser and it is a straight palazzo trouser, so we are not going to be adding any other thing. Just attach that, you just measure that 15 inches all the way down, and then you are going to cut it out. So I'm cutting it now. If you are new to my channel, kindly click the subscribe button. You're welcome to the family. Like my videos, share with your family and friends, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out anytime I upload a new video. Please drop your questions in the comment section down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. So after I cut it out, I'm then slitting that part, the edge of the other side, because it's going to be it has to be separate. It's not supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be cut. All right, so now once that is done, we are going to be working on the back. So you take the remaining fabric, you fold it in such a way that the back is going to be bigger than the front, because we are actually going to be cutting the back to be bigger than the front. Remember that we did not put any allowance in the front, so all the allowances we are going to be adding is going to be at the back panel, which is what I'm going to be doing now. So after folding my fabric and placing my front on it, make sure that the back is bigger than the front. So what we are going to do now is that at the back for the fabric for the back, I'm just going to measure out 2 inches from the edge all the way up, like I'm doing now. Just going to measure 2 inches from the edge all the way up, and I'm going to draw a straight line so that I can know where the front is going to start from. So the 2 inches will serve as the allowance that I want to add for the front and the back, but it is only going to be at the back. I hope you understand. So I'm just connecting the dots that I created, the 2-inch mark. I'm connecting it now, and I'm going to, so after connecting it, I am going to place the front on that edge. So the front panel pattern is going to be starting from the line that I just drew. All right, so the front is going to be starting from that line, and then the next thing to do is that you're going to make sure that the front is aligned at the down part. So the space at the top here, at the crotch area here, you are going to go up by 1.5 inches. You can do from 1 inch to 2 inches depending on how big your client is. My client is not that big, so I'm going to be using 1.5, and then I connected it back to the waistline, as you can see. So once that is done, you are just going to cut it out. You don't need to add any allowance again to the front or the back. You're just going to cut it out like that, just exactly like that. So that is just it about cutting the trouser. So now let's work on the pocket for the front. So from the front, for the front pocket, I'm just going to mark out 3 inches inwards, and downwards I'm going to mark out 6 inches or 7 inches. I did 7 inches for this pocket because she's a plus size. If it's someone that is not that big, you can do 6 inches. So you are just going to connect that line to that line with a slant like so, and then you are going to cut it out. So I'm going to cut it out. So once that is done, we are going to be cutting our pocket itself. So I just took the rest of my fabric and I'm going to be marking out 9 inches by 10 inches. You can do 6 inches by 6 inches. You can do 7 inches by 7 inches, depending on how deep you want your pocket to be. So in this video, I did 9 inches, and I wanted to do 9 inches by 9 inches, but because I thought that I wanted the pocket to be a bit deep, so I decided to do 9 inches by 10 inches, and then I'm just going to cut it out like that, as a, just cut it out like that, just that box. I'm just going to cut it out, and then you are cutting 2 of this because it is 2 pockets, one for the right side and one for the left side. So I'm just going to cut 2 of that, which is what I am doing now. So once you are done cutting, you are just going to open it up like so. You are going to open it up like so, and then place it on top of each other like so. You can do your right side to right side, or you can do left side to left side, depending on what you want. Then you are going to take your front piece and place it on it like this. Make sure it is aligning on one side like that, and then you are going to cut it out. So once that is done, let's stitch the pockets. So you open up your front. This is one part of the front, so you are going to place it on top of it like this. You can place it right side facing right side, or anyhow you want it to be. You are just going to place it on top like this. Make sure it is aligning, and then you are going to go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance, just straight down. So I've gone ahead to sew it. So you are going to open it up like so, and then you are going to top stitch on it. Make sure you are not top stitching on the trouser. It is on the pocket that you are going to top stitch. Make sure the stitch you did earlier is facing the pocket, and you go ahead and top stitch. So after top stitching, which I've done now, you are just going to move it like so to meet the edge of the other side of the pocket like this, and make sure you are aligning it very well. So once it is aligned like this, you can decide to pin it down so that it doesn't shift. I decided to pin mine down because this fabric was a little slippery, so I decided to pin mine down. Then after pinning, I flipped it over to the other side, which is where we are going to be working on. So that's the pocket. So I'm just going to slant it like so. I'm just going to slant it and curve it to form the shape of the pocket that we normally know. All right, make sure you don't cut your main front piece. Make sure you are very careful. So after shaping it like so, I'm just going to cut it, sew it round. So after sewing, then I'll sew it at the top and at the side like that, so it can sit properly. And then I'm going to do that for the other part of the pocket, of the front part too, which I've already done. So after that, I'm going to place the two front, right side facing right side, and I'll sew on the crotch line, and then I'll sew the back also on the crotch line. So once I'm done sewing on the two crotch line for the front and the back, I'm going to open it up, placing the front on the back, right side facing right side, and then I'm going to stitch these two sides together. You know the back is bigger than the front, so you have to pull at both ends. After sewing one side, you pull and sew the other side, which I've done. And then I also went ahead to hem the down part with 2 inches seam allowance. Then after that, you're just going to put it together like this, and then you're going to sew. When you are sewing, you sew from the down part to the crotch area, you stitch it, and then you flip it over to the other side, and you also sew from the down part to the crotch area, you stitch it. Don't just sew from one side to the other, it's not professional. So once that was done, it's time to work on the band. So now I've gone ahead to loosen a bit of the sides at the where the band is going to sit, and then I'm going to measure the front part of the trouser band to know what I'm going to cut out for my band. So I've already cut it out, and by the time I opened it up, it was 5 inches before I folded it. So I folded half inch on both sides, and by the time you finish folding, to give you 2 inches. So now I'm going to be working on the back band first, because we are going to be creating an elastic band on the back. So you can sew from either the right side or the wrong side, but I want to start sewing from the wrong side, so that by the time I flip it over, my work is going to be neater. So you are just going to take it like so and sew on the wrong side. So I've sewn it, and then I flipped it over, and then I'm going to stitch it on top of it like so. So when you are done stitching, you are just going to cut out your elastic and attach it to the back, so that it can ruch it for you, which I've done. And I've done the front waist already. We are not putting elastic at the front, just the back. So once that is done, you flip it over to the wrong side, and then you stitch the end, that place that we loosed earlier, on both sides. So I'm going to do that, iron it, and show you the finished look. So this is the finished look. See how neat and nice it looks. I hope this was helpful. Till I see you in the next tutorial. I love you, and I care. Bye.